What if you woke up tomorrow and you could no longer be with the one that you love? What if you could not walk down the street without being ridiculed or judged? What if every day was a constant battle to win over the approval of society, just to be with the one that you love? Now, this is something that just about every gay and lesbian couple deal with on a daily basis, and that's why I've decided to talk to you today about gay marriage and why it should be legalized. Now, some reasons to listen to my speech today are to look at the situation without being prejudiced or discriminating, to be able to take a walk in their shoes, and understand why it's so important for them to be married and have those rights, and also be able to look at everything through a sociological point of view without judging or just being open about the situation. Now, I feel like I have some credibility to speak to you about this subject today because I have researched the subject. I have taken some classes, that have talked about the subject, such as sociology. And also, I have been a supporter of gay marriage for a long time, and I feel very strongly about the subject. So I feel like, I have the credibility to speak to you about it today. Now, there was an article in Time magazine talking about the brief history of gay marriage, and that's what I'm going to start off talking to you about today. In 1996, Bill Clinton passed the Defense of Marriage Act, which denied gay and lesbian couples the right to marry. In 2003, Massachusetts Supreme Court ruled that denying marriage was illegal, or it was against their constitution, their state constitution, which led to the first gay marriage in 2004 between Marcia Hams and Susan Shepard on May 17, 2004 at Cambridge, Massachusetts. In 2004 also, President George Bush, tried to pass a constitutional amendment saying that gay and lesbian people did not have the right to marry, but he was denied. Also in 2004, 13 states defined marriage as being between a man and a woman. And then in 2008, 4 years later, California overturned the gay marriage ban. So throughout the whole history of gay marriage, 8 states have allowed civil unions, which they give you some rights that marriage would, but it's not, it's not marriage. Some of those states include Connecticut, California, and New Jersey. Now, a quote out of the book Marriages and Families by Nigel V. Benecratis says that civil unions aren't enough. Gay and lesbian couples do not feel like, they still feel like they're being treated like second-class citizens because they aren't allowed to marry. 5 states have allowed gay marriage, including Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Iowa. And just recently, the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy has come up, and they're trying to, take that away. So that's another step in the right direction. Now, some reasons to support gay marriage are that, it gives gay and lesbian couples the stability that being married gives you. Most married couples that I know could tell you that dating and being in a relationship is completely different than being married. It gives you a completely different sense of security. And that's something that gay and lesbian people should be able to have. Also, if they were allowed to marry, they would be able to have some of the rights that married couples have, such as tax cuts, health benefits, shared health benefits. They would be able to, if something happened to one or the other of them, the other partner would be able to inherit the other's belongings without a will. Also, they would be able to adopt, which is something that's very important to gay and lesbian people because they cannot have their own kids. So being able to adopt is something that's very important to them. Also, if the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy is taken away and gay marriage is legalized, as military families, we may be living next door to a gay and lesbian couple because they would be able to have those rights as well, being able to have military housing, food allowances, and things like that, we as straight married couples have those rights. Now, some reasons that people do not support gay marriage, well, the main reason is religion. Some people like to say, it's against the Bible. The Bible says if a man lies with a male as he lies with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. Leviticus 20:13. And someone with strong religious beliefs could feel very strongly about that, and that's fine. But at the same time, there's another verse that says, "You shall not take vengeance nor bear any grudge against the children of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself," Leviticus 19:18. If you're going to feel strongly about something in the Bible, you should feel strongly about everything in the Bible. As a religious person, you should be able to take everything into consideration. And I get from that you should not judge other people. You should love everyone the same. And, you know, you cannot judge a person just because they're gay or lesbian. That is not your right to do. So that is why I believe that gay and lesbian people should have the right to marry. And that concludes my speech today. You know, gay and lesbian people have fought for their rights, and they should be able to do, you know, be able to go and have families and marry and do all the things that straight married people are allowed to do. So does anybody have any questions or concerns?
How many marriages have there been since 2004, since the first marriage?
Lots of marriages.
Lots of marriages?
Yes, there's been lots of marriages. I couldn't tell you the exact number, but I could look it up for you. I could find that number for you. I'm not sure on the exact number though.
Do you know which state has had the most marriages?
Probably Massachusetts, because it was the first to allow gay marriage. So there's been, I believe on the first day that it was allowed, there was a lot of, you know, people coming in. So
what would you say to someone who's argument with the reason gay and lesbian couples shouldn't be able to adopt is because you need both sides of the spectrum to give it a well-rounded child? Like, you need a mom and a dad. With a gay couple, you can't get both sides. What would you say to someone like that?
to an extent, that's true. A lot of, you know, children do need, you know, a mother and a father's point of view, but at the same time, they can get that from other family members, such as, you know, a grandfather, an uncle, things like that, if it was, you know, two females. Or, you know, if it was two males, you know, an aunt, grandma, whatever. Just being able to raise children is something that's very important to them. I understand that, you know, one side says they need a mom and a dad. You know, that is something that's important, but like I said, you can get that from other family members. It doesn't have to be just the mother or just the father that gives them the female or the male perspective. Any other questions?
I'll ask another one.
Sure.
So do you personally, I mean, since you researched it or whatever, do you feel like it's something they're born with, or is it something that they inherit from their habitat? Because, I mean, if it's something that's born and that's the way you feel, then maybe just being with a gay and lesbian couple, obviously one of them assumes the role as the male or the female because that's the way they were born, if they were born that way. So if they are born that way, if that's your opinion, then maybe they get both from the gay or lesbian couple.
And that could be, I mean.
But, or do you think it's a habitat kind of a thing?
I think that a lot of gay or lesbian people are born with it. They are born that way. Because, I mean, it happens in nature. Animals can have, you know, can be homosexual. So, it happens. I mean, it does happen. So, you know, I think people can be born with it. Some people make the decision, and that's fine. Whatever you decide to be. And like you said, some feminine or some women are very masculine. So, you know, honestly, if they were raising a child, they could, to an extent, get that side. But it just really depends on the couple.